Hey guys, this is another one of these free educational learning videos, and today we're going to talk about polynomials and quadratic equations. So first we're going to talk about adding and subtracting polynomials. So let's start with an example. Okay, so let's subtract x squared minus 2x plus 5 from, we're going to subtract that from 3x minus 4. So, let's go straight ahead and x squared minus 2x plus 5. We're going to add the red subtraction sign in the middle. Minus 3x minus 4. Subtract that from, it's the reverse. 3x minus 4 minus minus x squared minus 2x plus 5. Oops, with that. Okay, now first thing we're going to do is substitute the negative sign. Negative is positive, and our previous video was actually about the properties of real numbers. So if you don't know the properties, just watch that video. So negative becomes positive, and end up with and negative times positive is negative x squared positive 2x, and negative and positive is of course negative once again, and just put that fraction. Okay, so now we're gonna do something called adding the like terms. We're also gonna do something called why is the loop 10 so big. Okay, so I don't know how to do it. So the like terms are negative 4 and minus 5. So let's add that up. So we have 3x, negative 4 times minus 5 is negative 9. Let's find another like term. Positive 2x plus 3x. So positive 3x plus 2x is 5x. So we add that here. And on the next equation, on the next expression, we're gonna add these two like terms. 3x plus 2x is 5x. So 5x and then Now that we have these, okay, let me use my blood cutter. Okay, so now we have all the like terms combined, and we don't need this because this is actually 9 minus 9. So 5x minus 9 minus x squared. And yep, that's all you have to do, and that is the answer, I believe. Oh, and the reason why it's actually not the answer, you have to flip this around. So x squared is 5x minus 9. Why you say? Well, because they always have to be in the form ax squared. So this one has a exponent of 2. This one should have an exponent of 1. And the last term, c, should only be a coefficient. No variables, no nothing else, a coefficient. Okay? This is actually the form needed for a quadratic equation, but we'll discuss that after this. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about multiplying polynomials. Okay, multiplying polynomials. So just for the sake of education, I'm doing this. When you multiply polynomials, you use something called the formula. You don't have to use it because I never use it myself, but it's just a mnemonic to help you understand distributing terms. So let's have an example. Okay, so on this side, what do we have? On this side, we have a binomial. Binomial. And what do we have on the other side? We have another binomial. So, binomial. So, what we're doing here is multiplying two binomials with each other. So how do you do it? Is there a special way? Well, yes. You have to distribute. So, watch carefully. First thing we're going to do is multiply the x times the x. And then the x times the minus 3. Next thing is that we're going to do the 4 times the x. So, next thing we're going to do is 4 times x. And then 4 times minus 3. Minus 4 times minus 3. So let's do it. Choose a different color so you won't get sleepy. Hope so. So x times x is x squared. So I'm gonna write that x times x, and we're gonna simplify it later. X times x, and then minus 3 times x. So minus 3 times x. Next we do 4 times x, minus 4 times x. So add that minus sign, the freaking minus sign. Minus 4 times x. And last thing we're gonna do is minus 4 times minus 3. So add that freaking minus sign, and 4 times minus 3. Okay, so now all we have to do is simplify, multiply. It's a little bit of, I apologize. See. So, x times x, that's x squared, minus 3 times x is 3x, and don't forget the negative signs, minus 4 times x is 4x, and lastly minus 4 times minus 3 is positive 12, because the negative real number times a negative real number is a positive real number. So now minus 12. Now we're gonna add like terms, and that's pretty much like blood cutting. So we're gonna add minus 3x minus 4x. What is that? Well, that is minus 7x, it seems. So okay, no, I don't want the blood cutting color, just for normal writing. So x squared minus 7x, and we shouldn't put 7x squared because this isn't multiplying, this is subtraction. And lastly minus 12, and we don't have to switch anything because the first one has a square root of 2, the second one has a square root of 1, and when you have a number with the square root of 1, you don't have to write the 1. And we have lastly a coefficient with no exponent, with an exponent of 1, but that doesn't really count. It's just a lonely coefficient. Okay, so now okay, so we're gonna do another example. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Does this work? Yes. However, I do not. For this, do I know? So let's do it. Okay, 2x plus 7 times 2x minus 7, and you're gonna see that when you have the same two roots, look, the only thing that's actually, wait 1 second, the only thing that actually changes is the operation. So 2x times 2x is what? 4x squared, right? 2x times negative 7, negative 4x, 14x. 7 times 2x plus 14x. And lastly, 7 times minus 7 is minus 49. Let's cancel out the terms using our group pen. Okay, so now we have only 4x squared minus 49. So that is our answer. Okay, this 49 is a perfect square. So this is called the difference of perfect squares. We're gonna learn about that later. What we're gonna do now is trinomials, okay? Trinomials. So let me read this first. And let's see what is. So the last thing we're gonna do, one of the last things is trinomials. Okay, so let's do this. Trinomials. Damn, I hate this color. Okay, so so one of the basic rules for polynomials are one of the things you have to actually memorize is, and I'm going to tell you this why later, a plus b squared, damn it, oh, so a plus b squared is the same as a plus b times a plus b. Or you can do a minus b times a minus b, because minus and minus become plus. Okay, so what does this result in? This results in a squared, a times a, plus 2ab. So what a times a plus a is 2a, and b plus b is 2b. So just to simplify that, we're going to write 2ab plus b times b is b squared. So we're going to write plus b squared. What is this called? What is this called? This is called the I'm not sure, perfect square trinomials. Okay, so I'm just going to write that down. Okay. So now we're going to practice some factoring, okay? Factor. It's one of the things that make me have goosebumps in the night. Even after I wake up, I have goosebumps. All because of factor. So how do you factor? Let's factor example equation x squared minus 18x plus 81. So factoring is like a game. Two numbers have to multiply up to 81, and those two numbers have to add up to minus 18. So this is going to be quite tricky, not quite tricky, because this is actually pretty darn easy. One second. Okay, so 9 times 9 is 81, and 9 plus 9 is 18. So let's try that combo first. And x times x is going to be x squared. So we're going to put that x first. X times x is x squared. Now, 9 times 9 is 81. And we know that minus 9 and then minus 9 is also 81, and minus 9 is minus 18. So it ends up that this is our answer. And this is called perfect difference of perfect squares. So this is the difference of a perfect square. And you probably have noticed, and if you didn't, it's okay, because I didn't notice either, to be truthful. X minus 9 times x minus 9 is the same as x minus 9 squared. Simple as that. And not simple if you don't understand it. So yep. Now we're gonna talk about the sum of cubes and the difference of cubes. And then after this, we're gonna lastly talk about the quadratic equation, how to factor it, and its few brothers and sisters, if you want me to get a little clever. So how do you make this damn thing bigger without... Okay, fine. Well, it seems like I'm not in the right layer, am I? Okay, keep having to switch layer. Okay, so let me open a new file. Run this. See. Finally, I get it to be black. Because my eyes were damn hurting so much. Okay. Sum and difference of cubes. Okay, so you've heard the difference of squares, right? Well, this is no different. This is no different. Let's take a look. Hey, where's the damn thing? Okay, so a cube, something like a cube plus b cube. That's a cube. So I'm gonna explain why. So this will equal a plus b times, and notice this. Notice the same damn expression. A squared minus ab plus b squared. So this is this part is almost no. Okay, sorry. So that is the sum of squares. Of cubes, I mean. Apologize. And then we have the difference of cubes, which is would just basically changes the operation. And every time it switches, so now it becomes plus and b minus b squared. Okay. So we'll do an example with this sum and difference of square. So let's see, what is 8x cubed minus 125? We'll take a look. What adds? Okay, let me just, so this would factor to be 2x minus something, and this would be 4x squared. Why? Because take a look. 4 times 2 is 8, and we made x times x squared equals x cubed. So that's just a good thing to do. Now we're gonna multiply something by 5 to get to 125. So let's see. What times something goes? Aha, so 5 times 25 is 125. So I think this should be plus 25. So look at that something. So first add 10x minus, and here's where the 5 comes in. So 5 times 25 equals 125, and don't add an x because this is only a coefficient. Okay, so this is the answer for this. Is this a difference? Yes, this is a difference of square. So now we're going to talk about the quadratic formula. One of the worst formulas you've probably ever seen, or perhaps the best. Yeah, it's a better mess. Okay, so see, this is much better. See. So this is how all quadratic equations look like. A x squared, and I showed you it before, plus bx plus c. If you notice, this is actually a trinomial, which I talked about here. Grade Alice. So this is a trinomial. Why trinomial? Well, because it has three monomial terms. Take a look. The ax squared is a monomial. The bx is a monomial. The c is a single coefficient, which is also a monomial. So a trinomial is a monomial plus a monomial plus a monomial, or a binomial plus a monomial. Okay, so, and the quadratic formula is, and it's probably the most stressful thing, minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so over 2a. Don't forget that part. Don't forget any part. So let's do an example with this formula. Can I have text, please? Text. Okay, good. Now they don't even have a. Good. So we're gonna solve. Let's solve this x squared minus 8x plus 9, and we're gonna always set it to 0 just to solve. Okay, so set it to 0. Okay, so we're gonna solve it using the quadratic formula, and so let's start. Before we start, let's just start out labeling what numbers we have. So the first term, we'll call it A, the second term we'll call it B, and the third term we'll call it C. Okay, so what number does term A have? X squared, right? Wrong, because x squared is not a coefficient. The coefficient is actually 1. So this is 1. This is 1. What is the coefficient for term B? Well, this is term B, and we're asked to find the coefficient, right? And the coefficient is the number part, not the variable. So minus 8 is the coefficient. What's the coefficient of C? Well, positive 9. So now all we have to do is substitute, fellas. So let's see. X equals minus, and put this minus 8 here. Put this minus 8 over here. Plus minus the square root of minus 8 squared. So the square root of minus 8 squared minus 4, A is 1, A is 1, and C is 9. So we're going to put 9 over 2, and A is 1, so 2 times 1. Okay, so, and we're just going to add extra brackets. You don't have to add the bracket, it's just it's almost like optional, okay? Optional. I'm gonna solve it here because there's not enough space. So let's do this. Let's do this. Equals 8 plus minus. What is this whole thing? Okay. So that is much better. 8 plus minus the square root of minus 8 squared. No. Let's just solve it. That first. Minus 8 squared is 64 because 8 times minus 8 times minus 8 is 64, and minus equals plus. So 64 minus 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 9 equals 36. So we're going to put 36 here. We're going to put the ending brackets, and we're going to divide all this by 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so we're going to do 64 minus 36. So 8 plus minus so 8 plus minus the square root of 28 over 2. Okay, so now what do we have to do? Now we have to simplify the 28. What is the greatest perfect square factor of 28? Let's think. 7 times 4? Yes, because 4 is a perfect square. Okay, so let's do that. So that equals 7 times 4 over 2, and the square root of 4 equals 2. So, you know what, I'm going to do this in a different color so you don't get mixed up. Let's do it here. X equals 8 plus minus the square root of 4 we said was 2, and the normal square root of 7, and divide all that by 2. And so 8 divided by 2 is actually 4. So the answer is x equals 4 plus 2 root of 7. That is the answer. And not only is that the answer, but that's the answer to the end of our tutorial. So folks, thanks for watching, and I don't know, bite your nails the next time you take the test.